Hello everyone, my name is Shayna Bayo and I will be explaining how arrays work. First, an array is a way to store a lot of variables of a single data type into one variable of a fixed size. For example, if you have a lot of data and need to do calculations like calculating the GPA of a bunch of exam scores or calculating sales profits, etc. So first I want to show what a one-dimensional array is. Right here, this is initializing, declaring a one-dimensional array called one array. You put one bracket in here, and you would make sure to put the data type. All the elements of this array have the same data type, integer 3, 6, 7, 8, so that's 4 elements. To display a one-dimensional array, you would do a for loop going through each index. You have to remember that each index starts at 0 and ends at the length. You don't want to go out of bounds. So for a one-dimensional array, you can return a reference of that array from a method. For example, in here I created a method called getArray, and in getArray, which is this method, I created a brand new array, integer array, where I made a 5-element array, and this returns an array, returns a reference to an array of integers. So when I return the reference, I then assign that reference to one array. So now one array, the original array, now is referencing the new array. So if you run it, originally it was 3, 6, 7, 8. Now when you use the getArray method, now it's referencing the array that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also, you can pass an array as an argument, or pass a reference of an array, pass an array as an argument to a method. It accepts the reference of the array as its argument, and in this one you're reversing the order of that array, but it does not return a method. It's just using it to do calculations or reversing. For this one, it's reversing that order. So if you run this backwards array that's here, it now displays 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But as you can see, if you then display the one array again, it's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It did not actually change. Okay, so now I want to show multi-dimensional arrays and what they do. The difference between these is that they have 2 brackets, and it's an array of an array, basically. So the first bracket represents rows, the second bracket represents columns. They still start at 0, the indexes for each element. You now have to do a nested for loop. The first loop would go through each row. So it would first start at the first row, which is at index 0, and then the second loop would go through each column of that row, 0, 1, 2, and then it would go back to the second row, which is at index 1, and then it would go through each of these columns. And that's how you would go through that of a multi-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional arrays are still treated the same way as a one-dimensional array. You can still pass them as arguments. You can also return a multi-dimensional array and a method. And that is my presentation. Thank you, and have a good day.